Well, hey everybody, welcome back. Wow, here we are, episode 100, and what a journey it has been. So I thought it would be a lot of fun to spend the next 3 days talking about how I started with one single camera and a microphone and turned abandoned and forgotten places into what you see today. So sit back, relax, and let me take you on a 3-day journey down memory lane. Episode 70. Yeah, everybody loves cinematic shots. You know, I got my idea for that intro by watching, I believe it's on the History Channel, a show called Aerial America. So I pieced together a bunch of clips that I captured over the last, months prior to that, and put it together with some really awesome music. And everybody just loved that intro, and I really liked it too. I think that that's right up there with one of my most favorite.
Hidden throughout the vastness of the western United States, over 500,000 abandoned mines from the late 1800s and early 1900s are scattered across 12 western states and remain as one of our last remaining and most dangerous exploratory curiosities, just waiting to be discovered by professional explorers. Unlike any other type of outdoor recreation, exploring abandoned mines is one of the most dangerous activities one can do. Containing such hazards as bad air, seemingly bottomless pits, and the potentiality of becoming entombed under thousands of tons of rock, the safest solution for non-professionals is to read the warning signs and stay out and stay alive. come with me as we peek into the forbidden darkness of abandoned mines as you watch safely and comfortably from your home. With only its surface structures explored and photographed by hundreds of people over the years, the Sterling Mine produced nearly $3 million worth of silver and gold from 1937 to 1943, and at one time was the state of Nevada's largest silver producer. With its 600-foot vertical shaft, this mine extracted and processed nearly 400,000 tons of ore via an on-site mill and cyanide leaching methods. Now, come with me on this epic descent as I take you to where no abandoned mine explorer has gone before, and I show you for the first time the hidden secrets and perilous journey into the very bottom of the Sterling Mine.
Okay, here we are at episode 72. What an incredible adventure that was. You know, it's not every day that you go climbing down a 600-foot shaft with 600 feet of ladders. Talk about a challenge. Going down wasn't all that bad, but getting back out of there took forever. And when I finally exited that mine, I was completely wiped out. I mean, it took days to recover after that one, but that to date is one of my most favorite adventures. The miners' graffiti down in there was just absolutely incredible. I wish I could have explored more. I probably would have taken a few more chances if I would have had a second person with me, going past those collapsed ore chutes in different areas in that mine. But like I said in the video, when you're that deep, if something goes wrong, it's just that much harder to self-rescue. So I didn't push it as much as I would like to have pushed it and gone deeper, but nevertheless, we found some pretty cool stuff down in the bottom of that shaft.
Weighing in at 76 pounds, or 34.46 kilograms, a flask of mercury in 1940 sold for between $65 and $100 and was one of the most widely used elements in gold recovery, as well as having uses in scientific and industrial applications. Discovered in 1913 and worked intermittently from 1920 to 1942, the Red Rock Mine produced nearly 3,000 flasks of mercury before eventually being shut down due to a lack of available workers shortly after the beginning of World War II. Mercury is present in host rock known as cinnabar and is extracted by crushing and heating the rock to release the mercury as a vapor. The vapor is then cooled and condensed into liquid mercury before being poured into flasks and sold as a commodity. Contained in high-grade pod-like ore bodies, cinnabar can be a very dangerous rock to mine due to its somewhat crumbly granular nature and toxicity. Neurological effects such as shaking, loss of sense, and even death were the result of mercury poisoning. Now, come with me as we explore nearly 5,000 feet of both dry and flooded passages deep inside the Red Rock Mine. Hidden deep in the backcountry and smoke-filled mountains of Nevada, two mines, new and old, exist nestled in a pine tree landscape with grand stories of promised riches, only to end up like so many dreams, failed and broken. Discovered in 1867, and with new arrivals setting up a more modern mill site as late as 1938, the 11 Bars mine produced silver and gold before being abandoned prior to World War II. The 11 Bars mine was a much more successful operation, unlike its much older 1871 counterpart, with incredible stories of $500,000 of investors' dollars lost, with the construction of a 70-stamp mill and roaster still observable in the valley below. Come with me as I embark on yet another amazing adventure, exploring highly unstable sections, collapsed passages, and incredible museum-quality artifacts that surround the 11 Bars mine. With its main haulage adit nearly a mile long and thousands of feet of underground workings, the Admiral Aaron Ward Mine has been visited by many veteran abandoned mine explorers throughout the years and continues to be one of the deepest mines explored by many. Come with me as I take you over a mile underground and over 1,700 feet deep into the pyrite and crystal-filled areas deep in the bowels of the Admiral Aaron Ward Mine. On this episode of Abandoned and Forgotten Places, I give you a behind-the-scenes look of abandoned mine exploration as Mr. M, Randy, and I work our way through 3 different locations and have a few laughs along the way. Each and every week, the three of us travel hundreds of miles, seeking out new mines and new mill sites, and never really knowing what a location will have to offer until we get there. Exceptional camaraderie, and a talent of finding humor in each other, a day of exploring with the likes of us is a laughable one indeed. Mr. M with his highly polished funny bone, Randy with his bicycle helmet and scientific curiosities, and I myself with my knowledge of mining and amateur geology make for a well-rounded team of explorers. Now, come with me as you take a front seat ride looking backwards for a behind-the-scenes look of abandoned and forgotten places.
I want to show you guys something here real quick before we continue on. See this fence right here? I can literally reach out and touch it. This is the western border of Nellis Air Force Range. Right out here is area 71 and 72. Okay, up in those hills right over here is where they conduct a lot of various electronic warfare. And down in the valley below is what's called Big Target, where they actually do drop live ordnance. And then way out there, right around, say about 42 miles away, that's where Area 51 is. So on this section of Nellis, all you have is a barbed wire, a steel posts and a barbed wire fence. That's all there is. But I guarantee you wouldn't have to go too far past this boundary before you get the camo dudes on your butt. Oh yeah. Well, hey everybody, welcome back. Is it cold out here? So it's late October, it's Halloween day, and we're gonna have a little bit of fun on this episode. We've got a big mine here. There's 4 giant portals going into the side of this mountain, but I think we're only gonna be able to get to maybe 2 today. What in the world? Jeez. Anyways, we're gonna head on into this mine. Would you be quiet back there? Shush up already. My goodness. Anyways, we're gonna head on into this mine and see what we can see. Okay, let's get things started.
Previously on Abandoned and Forgotten Places, episode 77.
Don't be afraid. If I see something too sketchy for me, it's definitely too sketchy for you. Fan is still spinning. It just goes to show you guys how much airflow is in this mine today because of the weather outside. Oh, it's a timer. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's a date and timer. I feel like a gargoyle perched up on this one. This thing's like 3 feet tall.
Nice.
Wow, nice find, Randy.
I've been seeing a lot of this up through the mine.
Look at the pyrite coming out of that. here we are at roughly episode 79. Now this is where I said to myself, you need a challenge. I think that you can do better with your main intro sequence. And so I started using what's called the Google Earth Editor. Yeah, they have a program where you can fly into different places around the world and create your own movies using Google Earth Editor. So I played around with that a little bit until I finally, after hours, I finally perfected it. And that's when I started putting together clips, and I zoomed those clips into different mine locations that I explored in the past, and I matched the horizons, okay, to each and every single one of those locations. So when I was flying the drone at a particular site, I stopped the image, I used Google Earth to come in, match up the horizons, and that's where I blended those clips together into the brand new Google Earth intro that you see today. It turned out rather well. Yeah, I know it's a bit lengthy, but a lot of you guys, you just click the screen forward a couple times and fast forward right through it, and that's perfectly fine. But you got to understand that at this point, I'm starting to now design my videos to where maybe one day they're going to be used on Netflix or Hulu or some other streaming service. And even though a 60-second intro on the YouTube platform is kind of overdone, it's absolutely perfect on a streaming platform, and that's why I continue to use it to this very day.
On this episode of Abandoned and Forgotten Places.
Oh, there we got 2 skunks. Wow, just a gold mine of artifacts up in here, Mr. M.
Nice.
That one right there will kill me. I got to keep an eye on him.
Get out of there, Gly.
Just a minute. Wow. Look at that, guys. We have a hoist right here in the mine.
On this episode of Abandoned and Forgotten Places.
Boy, you sure wouldn't want to been under this when it went, huh? Holy cow. Yeah, that's pig. And one of these days, I'm telling you, I'm going to get into one of these. And there's going to be one up in here snarling at me. Oh, to hell with that ladder. I'm just going to do it this way.
Gly developed a little bit of sense.
Whoa, watch it, watch it!
Beginning in 1984 and growing up near a mining district located in the high deserts of Wyoming, exploring abandoned mines has always been an interest of mine and still remains an enjoyable hobby to this very day. In the early years, cave exploring and free climbing were my primary interests, followed by hunting, geology, gold prospecting, and off-road exploring. Growing up in the great outdoors was the best decision my father made for my brother and I, and the lifetime of adventures and stories to tell resulting from that decision will never be forgotten. Now, years later, after a successful 20-year career in pyrotechnics and explosives regulatory, and after winning the fight with colon cancer, I can once again give my hobby the attention it deserves by bringing it to the world for all to enjoy. There is no doubt that what I do is incredibly dangerous and could very well end my life, but my passion for exploration and discovery is an itch that has to be scratched. Over the last 21 months, Abandoned and Forgotten Places has undergone many improvements, and it's because of tremendous support from my subscribers and my financial devotion to improving the channel with 100% of all proceeds. Abandoned and Forgotten Places is about to take a new leap into Class 4 and Class 5 abandoned mine exploration. Now, come with me as I rappel into a steep incline shaft in an attempt to discover what's hidden in the very bottom.
Are you guys ready for the big announcement? Well, here it is. May I present Mr. M.
With abandoned and forgotten footage. It's an idea that me and Gly came up with sitting around the fire ring in between our trailers several months ago. And I thought, 97% of the stuff that I shoot, or our in-cab stuff, or our even drone work, hits the cutting room floor. And I thought to myself, what can I do about this? And I said, hey, Gly, how about if I come up with my own little show and I call it Abandoned and Forgotten Footage? And he said, that's a brilliant idea.
Fantastic. Yeah, and you guys actually helped come up with it. So many of you said down in the comments section that you wish you would see more behind the scenes stuff.
And more Mr. M.
Yeah, well, that too. And we listened, and we want to give that stuff to you. So this is just going to be a whole lot of fun, because now you get to see all the behind the scenes things that go into the show, as well as funny conversations.
Where we're going.
You never know what you're gonna see. That's the fun part about this, is that it's just gonna be willy-nilly, hodgepodge. Can you think of another word? I can't think of one.
They'll be able to judge for themselves if they'll watch my first show.
It's just gonna be a good time, guys. So my show airs at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time every Saturday morning, and his is going to air at 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okay, that's so that when you guys get done watching mine,
you got time to make another cup of coffee, sit down, fluff the pillows a little bit.
And it's really easy to find. Just go down into the description area of my video. The link to his channel will be right there. Just click on it and head right on over to Abandoned and Forgotten Footage.
I hope you like it. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
On this episode of Abandoned and Forgotten Places,
go down. Yeah, a lot of that's going to want to come down, so be careful.
Yeah, let's get out of here. Well, you put that one right in my way. Watch it.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I'm just trying to sit here.
Yeah, you just sit. I don't want you kicking a rock on me, because I got to keep my focus on the way down, okay?
I'm trying.
All right.
I don't know how you talk me into this stuff.
Previously on Abandoned and Forgotten Places, Episode 83.
Go down. Yeah, a lot of that's going to want to come down, so be careful.
Yeah, let's get out of here. Well, you put that one right in my way. Watch it.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I'm just trying to sit here.
Yeah, you just sit. I don't want you kicking a rock on me, because I got to keep my focus on the way down, okay?
I'm trying.
All right.
I don't know how you talk me into this stuff. So Gly just got back from crawling down in the hole over here. To go ahead and explain it, Gly.
And
this is just too dynamite.
Oh,
he
boy.
is beside himself.
Absolutely beside myself. Nobody has been in this mine since 1943, okay? And I just went down over the hill. I knew from looking at all the maps and studying this area, studying the mine, looking at its layout, etc., that there was a good possibility that there was a back entrance into this behemoth of a mine. So I went down over the hill, and lo and behold, I turned the corner, climbed up the waste rock pile, and the angels did sing.
Nice.
I found the back entrance into this thing.
We came out here to recon today to hopefully find it, and if we didn't, then we were gonna have to try to find something else as a plan B, and I had other areas to go check out. But this is the holy grail. This is going to be a nice one.
Oh my gosh, this thing is so big. I mean, we could be out here exploring for 2, maybe 3 days.
Wow.
But hey, we've jumped the first hurdle, guys. We can get into it. That's the biggest thing. And to know that we're getting into something that no one has seen in all of these years. It's pristine. In other words, you know what I mean?
I do.
When they blasted the main portal, anything and everything that was in that mine is in there in situ to this very day, and we're going to be the first people to shine a camera on it.
That's pretty nice.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's so cool.
Despite the ravages of time and over a century of slow decay, the struggle for golden riches of men long gone are evident in the stopes and drifts of this abandoned mine. hill eternally scarred from the removal of a high-grade ore body, only a view from the air offers appreciation of just how hard these men worked, seeking their fortune. Now, come with me as we explore all 4 levels of the Sawtooth Mine. Reaching a new milestone, abandoned and forgotten places, is about to take you where most explorers dare not go. 100-year-old mine shafts with 100 years of things falling into the bottom. The question on everyone's mind is, what will we find hidden in the bottom of these deep, dark shafts? In this episode, we begin with a smaller, unnamed mine with an interesting looking headstock and ore bin structure. Now, come with me as I take you on the first of what will be many more vertical adventures, exploring this abandoned mine.
Episode 82. All right, well, it's at this point when the channel is now once again producing pretty good income via the YouTube ad revenue as well as the tip jar. And then we got a really good supporter of the channel. His name's Jim Vick, and you guys are going to be seeing him in an upcoming episode, probably in either late May or early June. Jim is our best supporter of the channel, and he's really helped us out a lot in purchasing new equipment, the schnozzolator, ropes, and all the different climbing equipment that we needed. He has it's just been absolutely phenomenal, the kind of bump that he's given abandoned and forgotten places, and we really do appreciate it. Thank you so much, Jim. I just can't say thank you enough. Ultimately, he has helped propel the channel in a big push forward with roping into these locations, and that's when, right about this time, is when we started developing the schnozzolator. Oh wait, Mr. M isn't here to see it. Say it. 5,000. Episode 89. This was one of my favorite intros. I put it in the number 1 or number 2 slot. I absolutely loved how this one turned out. And the reason it turned out so good, it's because at this point, as I was saying earlier, the channel had finally made enough money. Now I was able to afford the editing computer that I've always wanted. Now, understand, guys, this whole entire time, sure, I've got enough money. I could have thrown whatever it would have taken to propel the channel up to this point, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted the channel to be self-sufficient, okay? I wanted it to grow on its own from absolutely nothing. Believe it or not, this whole entire thing started with a budget of $500. And that $500 came from stuff I had laying around I didn't need anymore that I sold on eBay. I took the money, I bought the GoPro 5 and actually this same microphone I'm using right here and an Evo gimbal, and that's what I used to start this show. So that's how I wanted to do things, you know. I just didn't want to go, hey, I'm going to start a YouTube channel and let's throw a whole bunch of money at it and see what happens. No. The best course of action was to allow it to grow slow. Build your viewership, build your subscriber base, allow the show to grow naturally or organically into what you guys see today. And finally, it had enough money where I could go out and I could purchase, actually I should say I built the editing computer I've always wanted, and that's why the intros starting at this point got better and better, because you can just do so much more when you have a really fast computer when you're editing these videos.
When searching for remote abandoned mines, I often come across interesting architectural structures, such as this mercury retort mill built in 1906. With its bricks typically hauled off and used in other structures, this mill was a rare find and interesting curiosity as we made our way deeper into the remote desert wilderness. Today, on Abandoned and Forgotten Places, I take you to a remote copper mine filled with snake tracks and poisonous spiders, before eventually taking you to a mine with the most blue azurite I have ever seen. Now, come with me on this 2-day journey exploring the Copper Cup and the Baby Blue Mines. isolated in inhospitable locations, and hidden in the mountains and desert washes, Southern California has some of the largest mining districts in the desert Southwest. Long after the gold rush of 1848, prospectors spread out and made new discoveries of gold and silver deep in the heart of the barren desert wilderness. On this episode of Abandoned and Forgotten Places...
This is crazy. This is crazy, Gly.
Gly.
Okay, well here we are at episode 93, and it was about this time when I felt it was appropriate to tell you guys a little bit more about me, and where my life was at before I started my YouTube channel, and why I started it, etc., etc. It's kind of a lengthy story of a few minutes, but if you want to know a little bit more about me, here, just continue to watch. Well, hey everybody, welcome back. Okay, a lot of you guys don't know this about me, but a few years back, I was diagnosed with colon cancer. That happened in 2017, and of course, after I was diagnosed with cancer, I went through the chemotherapy process in late 2017 and going into 2018, and then after the chemotherapy process, I was dealing with a lot of the side effects that come with chemotherapy, but in my case, it was really bad. So that summer of 2018, I headed off to Yellowstone, and I spent a considerable amount of time goofing around in the park, fishing, kind of reflecting on life, wondering which direction I wanted to go. Because, you know, when something like that happens in your life, you need time to reflect and make a new decision on which direction you're going to go. And so once winter started coming in around the Yellowstone Park area, I headed down south and I stayed in this area below Hoover Dam. Now, back then, I was suffering from neuropathy and I couldn't hardly walk.
You still suffer from it.
And I still suffer from it, yeah, but it's not as bad as it once was. In those days, I might be able to get out and walk maybe 100 yards, and that was as much as I could tolerate. And so I would run around in these hills that stretch between Hoover Dam and Kingman, Arizona, right along the eastern side of the Colorado River. So I was driving around here looking for just about anything interesting geologically, and I found some small abandoned mines. Now, back then I couldn't get out and explore them because of the condition I was dealing with. So I thought it would be a lot of fun this weekend to head back to this same area.
Wow.
And now crawl into all of those mines that I wasn't able to do, a little over 2 years ago.
Just a little over 2 years ago.
And that's why I've named this episode Gly Comes Full Circle.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good episode. That's a good name. And you know, I just want to weigh in here.
Uh-huh.
Boy, oh boy, am I glad to be along with you on this ride. This is significant. You know, you didn't tell me about this until just now.
Yep.
And wow, no kidding.
Yep, I feel great. I'm doing a lot better. And yes, the cancer is in remission and it hasn't come back. So let's head on up here and see what we can find.
Let's do it.
Okay. Yeah, so back then, I didn't even have a YouTube channel. I wasn't even thinking about doing such a thing. I was just recuperating.
You were a nobody.
I was a nobody. I didn't even have a name.
Nope.
So I had to make one up.
Good one too. I wish you had gotten that one.
But seriously, folks, the whole idea behind my YouTube channel was I was using it as a means of physical therapy. Because back then, not only could I hardly walk, I couldn't hardly talk either because of what chemo brain did to me. So starting up my YouTube channel and hiking into these mines was great physical therapy for my neuropathy. And the editing process and putting all that together was great therapy for my chemo brain. I eventually crawled out of that and it got a lot better. Whereas now, fast forward 2 years, the only thing that I continue to deal with is really bad neuropathy.
Yeah, and especially after we've been climbing around and he's been going up and down these mountains and hills, his feet are on fire that night, he tells me.
Oh yeah.
So it wouldn't be too much of a stretch to venture that YouTube actually played a part in saving your life.
It did. YouTube actually played a role in the physical therapy part of my cancer experience, you might say.
Look at all the quail.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Big covey. See that,
bunch of-
folks?
Look at all the quail.
Nice. Big covey.
Okay, so we're coming up to a site here that I found back then. It's a gold mine. And back then, this location was for sale. They did have a for sale sign on it. It'll be interesting to see if it was ever sold and if it has a gate on it. So it's not a very big mine, but we're gonna go check out this one first.
Well, on account of you couldn't before, let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's see what's in this one.
Nestled within the incredible vistas of southern Nevada lies an abandoned lead mine situated 600 feet above the valley floor. With production beginning in 1913 and sporadic production continuing up until 1973, the Killer Hill mine produced lead, copper, gold, silver, zinc, and uranium. At an elevation of 1,200 feet above sea level, the main portal of this mine can only be accessed via a man-made walking path zigzagging its way up to the main haulage level and ore bin. With over 70 pounds of gear in tow, climbing the hill to reach this abandoned mine was no easy task. Dwarfed by the sheer size of the surrounding landscape, this mine was not about to give up its secrets until the two of us climbed to the top. Come with me as we explore one of our most ambitious locations yet, and reaching the very depths of the Killer Hill Mine. Previously on Abandoned and Forgotten Places, episode 94.
Oh, let me get my camera here. And then just slide on down. Yeah, this is just a bunch of fun free climbing.
Okay, I'm gonna get down to a safe spot here. Nice. Ta-da!
All right.
Okay.
On this episode of Abandoned and Forgotten Places,
And behold, a giant limonite pillar. Oh, look here. Oh, we're gonna have fun today, Mr. M.
Oh, I'm already having fun.
Ha ha ha.
No kidding.
Oh yeah. Oh, we got dynamite all over the place.
Throw it here.
Yeah. That's always good. Heck yeah.
Okay, well here we are. We're coming up to episode 100, and I had to start working on 97. Episode 97 was such an awesome mine. I just couldn't believe what I found out there. I mean, the whole entire Explorer, I had goosebumps. What a great location, and because of that, I really wanted to pour my heart and soul into that project, or into that episode. I don't know how many hours I spent stabilizing and putting those clips together and making sure that the music crescendos were spot on, the builds, the valleys, all the different things that take place when you're editing. I just sat there in front of the computer and spent hours working on that intro, and it turned out absolutely great. And you guys, wow, the response I got from you was fantastic. Thank you so much. And I'm really, really happy you guys all enjoyed this episode.
On this episode of Abandoned and Forgotten Places, we finish our winter exploring season with one of the biggest and most incredible locations found thus far. With museum-quality artifacts still in place, ballrooms and stopes as big as houses, this mine doesn't disappoint as I work my way into the very bottom where few dare go. Come with me on our biggest adventure yet as we explore the Darla Day Mine. Previously on Abandoned and Forgotten Places, episode 97.
Oh my gosh, you've got to be kidding me. Look at this. Boy, I can't wait to get down there. Too cool. There. Oh my gosh. See, now that kind of shines a light on just how big this space is. Look at that.
Well, all right, here we are, episode 99. Now, as we start roping into more and more of these incline shafts and vertical shafts, either using just an anchor point for incline shafts and eventually using the schnozzulator for verticals, you just never know what you're going to find in the bottom of these shafts. Some are going to allow access into deeper workings, others are going to be plugged off, like what happened here with episode 99. But just because it's plugged off, that doesn't mean that you throw away the footage and look for another location, or spend days and days and days roping into vertical shafts until finally you find a good one. That's not how it works. I want to show you guys what it's like to be an abandoned mine explorer. You've got good days, bad days. You've got awesome days like what we found back with episode 97. Then you have days where not so much. You don't quite hit it out of the park. it's all a part of the experience. Week by week, this is what it's like to be an abandoned mine explorer. If I just showed you nothing but the best of the best mines or all of the high points, well, in my opinion, that's kind of taking away from some of the experience. In other words, you need to see a little bit of the bad with a little bit of the good. It goes up and down every single week. But as always, I'm always doing my best to try to find you guys the best, most interesting locations. And you're about to see that. I'm working on it right now, and you're gonna see it. I think it'll come out May 15th in episode 101. You wanna talk about a mine? Holy cow. The best location I've ever documented in my 30 plus years of doing this as a hobby. Unbelievable. Even right now, getting goosebumps just thinking about it. I can't wait to show it to you guys.
Nevada truly is the Mecca of abandoned mine exploration. Over the last 2 summers, I've shown you some incredible locations, and I've guided you into the depths of many abandoned mines that did not require ropes and technical equipment to explore. Thanks to contributing subscribers via the channel's PayPal tip jar, YouTube ad revenue, and merchandise sales being funneled directly back into the channel to purchase the proper equipment, Abandoned and Forgotten Places is about to take a long-awaited leap into Class 4 and Class 5 abandoned mine exploration. Dotted across the colorful and ancient hydrothermal landscapes of western Nevada are thousands of vertical and inclined mine shafts reaching hundreds of feet in depth, with broken ladders, busted manways, and disintegrating collars, making this type of exploring the most dangerous of all. These features keep most explorers out of these locations, and rightly so. So what will we find in the bottom of these dangerous and inaccessible shafts? What artifacts will we find lying in situ after 100 years? And what conditions will force even an experienced explorer such as myself to retreat from harm's way? Now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the most exciting and most dangerous summer exploring season yet on Abandoned and Forgotten Places.
Well, okay. I want to thank you guys for coming along on this fun 3-day journey down memory lane. That was a lot of fun. I hope you learned a little bit more about how the channel started from more or less absolutely nothing, and then up until what you see today. And I've got big plans. You just wouldn't believe what's in store for the future. Brand new camera rigs, things that would probably only be used to capture certain shots on real expensive productions, like maybe something Discovery would do or the History Channel. All kinds of really neat stuff, and that I want to do in the future. It's just going to be great. The key to success, I believe, is you have to constantly keep innovating. I don't want my channel to get stuck in this kind of a cookie cutter mode where every single weekend it's the same thing. You know what I mean? I want to keep it diverse. I want to keep it fresh. I want to keep trying new things. You already see that I've been goofing around pretty much with the 360 camera. I want to do more of that stuff to constantly keep it fresh and interesting. And of course, I want to keep finding for you guys really, really awesome locations. And I'm going to do my best and keep doing that. So with that, I'm going to get on out of here. Again, thank you so much for coming along. And I will see you again next weekend for the big episode 101. Oh my goodness, you guys are gonna love this one. Crazy stuff. You're not gonna believe what we found in the bottom of this mine. All right, guys, see you next weekend. Take care. Bye-bye. Hey guys, thanks for watching all the way to the very end of the video. Before we go today, I just wanted to read you something here. This letter comes from Chantel and Brian Tupper. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing your last name correctly, but yeah, Chantel and Brian Tupper, and they say here, Gly, we've been watching you from the beginning and love your channel, love all the new tech and addition of Mr. M. Please add our sticker to your Jeep. Thanks, Mr. M, for all the butt shots, LOL. Chantel and Brian Tupper. P.S. There's lots of interesting mines in Colorado. Okay, guys, as promised, I appreciate your sticker, and I did. I hung it up right here on the roll bar. And if any of you guys would like to send the channel a sticker, send them to P.O. Box 650, Goldfield, Nevada, 89013. That's P.O. Box 650, Goldfield, Nevada, 89013. Yep, I got the right zip. And I will put your sticker up on the roll bar of Old Bob. Thanks again, guys. I really appreciate it, and I'm really happy that you're enjoying the channel. All right, guys, have a nice day.